Hi, I'm Kim Dykstra, Director of Communications for the town of Breckenridge. And here with your edition of In the Field for the Breck Buzz, we're going to introduce one of our newest, but he's been here 10 years, member of the new town management. Scott Reid has just recently been promoted to the Director of Recreation here in the town. Before that, you spent 10 years in our Open Space and Trails Department. So tell us a little bit about that and your history with the town.
Well, like you said, I was with the Open Space and Trails Division for about 10 years. Did a lot of acquisition of property, construction of trails, design of trails, managing of grants, river restorations, and a number of other projects that town-based, and really enjoyed that work and was looking for another opportunity and some growth, and accepted a new position with as the Director of Recreation.
Great. So, and before the town of Breckenridge, you worked here in the county with Summit County.
Correct. I served as the natural resource specialist with the county, so I managed the rec path system as well as the natural surface trails that are out there.
Right, and most people say the rec path is bike path, whatever, but there's recreation on it, so they're not the bike path. So
correct.
And then, what did you do before that? Like, a bunch of different things that you did before that. Some fun stuff.
Prior to that, I ski patrolled seasonally and did a bunch of outdoor education. Was leading trips in the backcountry, led kids across the world for backpacking and rafting and those types of trips. I also worked for the Leave No Trace Center for Outdoor Ethics, which teaches low-impact recreation, and a number of other jobs across the country, and traveled a bunch. So.
Great. And how long have you been in Summit County?
I've been in Summit County for 14 years.
Great, awesome. And I think that you also had talked about a little bit of that you have your master's in, and it's obviously not open space and trails because I don't know that they offer one of those, but what is your master's in?
My master's is in park and recreation resource development. So basically it's managing natural areas as well as any recreational facilities, which applies both to open space and the recreation department as well.
Well, gosh, you actually went to school for what you're actually doing now. How proud is your mom? And so in terms of the open space and trails, that used to be in the community development department because it was a lot about planning and acquisition and all those kinds of things at the time. But since you've come over here to kind of keep that transition going, you've made some changes in how that's all going to operate in the town. That's
correct. The Open Space and Trails Division has moved from community development over to the Recreation Department. So the open space is it's the same mission and same projects, and everything is pretty similar to what was done before. I will be helping oversee the person that we hire to fulfill my position, basically, but they will be housed in the Recreation Department, and we saw that as an opportunity to really get some synergy between recreation and open space and trails, and I feel like it's a really good transition for us. This person will also help manage the Nordic Center, which was previously managed by the rec department staff, and so now that'll shift a little bit to the Open Space and Trails division. So now, speaking of recreation, you kind of touched on it. What are all of the things that you are responsible for and managing now under recreation, as Director of Recreation? Recreation is wide-ranging. This role includes managing of the golf course maintenance, so the folks that keep the golf course looking as beautiful as it does. The rec center, which is right behind the camera here, and you can see the associated amenities, including the skate park and our new playground, Kingdom Park Playground, the turf field. That would be one other section, is just the rec center as a whole and all the associated amenities. The ice rink out on Boreas Pass Road is part of it, and the Nordic centers as well. So, and then programs, which is a big piece, which is housed out of the rec center, but it's the after-school programs and the climbing camps and the mountain bike camps and the assorted classes that are taught through the recreation department. Great.
It touches pretty much from sort of birth up to people that are not kind of in the older parts of their lives.
Yep,
so
indeed.
It's great, and to keep them recreating. And it's a huge part of where we live in Breckenridge. So speaking of that, what is going to be what are you going to be doing for the next year? What's your biggest challenge as taking over as the Director of Recreation?
Well, I'm learning an awful lot. I think that's the first step, to really get a sense that I know what I'm doing in this position and really assisting with the ongoing operations that are occurring. But I would add that the rec center renovation that's been planned is a big project in the next year and a half. Town Council has approved about a $6 million budget to renovate the rec center, which is about 25 years old now. We're going to create a tennis center to free up, create a tennis center over here to my right, to free up some indoor space to be reprogrammed for fitness and cardio, changing up some of the administrative offices, and a number of other internal kind of projects to improve the amenities for the public and the visitors.
So what do you feel then that's going to be kind of, I would call short term. I mean, really short term is, next couple of years.
Okay.
What do you see, what do you envision for the next long-term 10 years for recreation here in the town of Breckenridge?
Once again, I'll be learning a ton to get going. Even in the next 10 years, I see a really steep learning curve for me to really understand. I see more integration between the open space and the recreation departments, and how that all comes together will be interesting. But I think primarily our goal is to provide those recreational amenities of all forms: indoor, outdoor, court-based or skate park-based, but also trail-based and inside. I mean, there are all sorts of things that we provide, and to continue to provide those at an incredibly high service level. And for me, the primary focus for me that I would like to see the hallmarks in terms of my role here would be safety, so that we've got safe amenities and people are able to recreate here and feel comfortable with what they're doing, but also outstanding customer service. And that's not a huge change from what we currently have, because I do believe we have excellent customer service. I just want to see that those two kind of themes really integrated throughout everything we do every day. So I think those are big pieces. And I would say that the rec center renovation, we have a $6 million plan at this point for what we're trying to accomplish in the next few years. But I think there are also some longer term goals that we're looking at, some other renovations that might go beyond that initial $6 million investment. And so once again, elevating that level of service to our customers, being the locals and the visitors, to ensure that we are really providing those public amenities for people who come here to visit, or again live here and are seeking a certain type of lifestyle. So I think those are kind of the themes I would focus on in the next 10 years.
So talk a little bit about your personal side. What is it that you like to do in your free time? Or didn't we tell you don't get any free time? No, just kidding. What do you do in your free time?
Free time, I spend a lot of time with my family. I have 2 younger kids, 11 and 9, and I also mountain bike a lot and ski and run and get outside a ton. And that's a lot of what I do. I love to go camping and be outside. And
what's your passions?
Just those things right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, my family and my recreational pursuits myself.
Okay. So talking about philosophies, the town, and maybe not as many of the people that are watching this show understand that the town of Breckenridge, for our employees, we have some pretty strong values and philosophies that we live by. Walking the talk, talking the walk, no, walking the talk. Everybody's a leader in their own little area. How do you feel that aligns with who you are as Scott Reid?
That's a good question. One of the things I really do treasure about working for the town of Breckenridge is that leadership philosophy. We really do try to empower our employees to make good decisions and feel empowered to make decisions on the fly, and with the trust of of the people that work around them. So, the values and philosophies of the town include influence, relationships, communication, knowledge, and adaptability. And those are all really important themes, I think, both at work, but also as your personal development. So I see a really close connection between what we as a town believe and what we try to espouse and teach to our employees, and my personal philosophies. I do believe that people, from a leadership standpoint, really need to feel empowered to make decisions and do the right thing for the world around them. And through all those different types of themes, that I think that's how we have a successful community that you see today.
And it's pretty well grown, and mainly in recreation.
Yes, it is.
You think about where we were 20 years ago, and like you said, Rec Center's 25 years old.
Yes.
Hard to believe.
And similarly, you see the open space program growing from pretty minimal acreage and a few trails to over 50 miles of trails.
What do we have right now? We have 50 miles of trails.
50 plus miles of trails, and 4,600 acres of property that we own or co-own with the county. And so I think, once again, that integration of open space into the recreation department makes a lot of sense as far as what we provide to our residents and guests. It's part of the amenity package that you see when you show up here. You can go run on a trail or ride on a trail, and then come in and have a nice yoga class, and have a sauna and that kind of thing. So there's a lot of different things. There are a lot of different things that people can do to enjoy their time here and really feel like they're enjoying the lifestyle and the world that we live in, specifically in this Upper Blue Valley. So.
And there's, the skate park. It's been a huge amenity. And then right next to it, now we have a new playground. We also had another playground come online a couple of years ago, out by the railroad park out there. So it's there's a lot to manage. Okay, one last question, so these people can get to know Scott Reid really well. What is the thing that you are most proud of thus far in your life, whether it's personal or professional?
That's a tough question. I think I'd say my family. I have a lot of pride in my my wonderful wife and my beautiful kids that I adore. So I think that's probably what I would say.
Great. Anything else you want our viewers to know about you, about Scott Reid?
We appreciate your interest and appreciate folks coming out and learning more about what we offer as a community. And please come visit. We're here at 880 Airport Road, and we'd love to have you come out and check out the rec center and the other amenities that we offer.
Great. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Okay, back to Breck Buzz. Thanks for watching.